Hello, my name is Arpana. I'm your IELTS examiner for this speaking test. May I start the recording?
Sure.
Thank you. May I see your passport? Here it is. Thank you. What is your name?
My name is Arpana Muthukrishnan.
What do you do?
I'm an English trainer. I have been teaching English since the last 8 years. Specifically, I coach IELTS students who wish to go abroad.
Please note that if you're currently not working, just don't say I'm unemployed. Say what you have completed, what you plan to do further, and what you plan to become. For instance, you could say something like, I've completed my bachelor's in commerce from Somaya College. I intend to do my master's in finance and then later on become an investment analyst. Where are you from?
I'm from a suburb called Mulund, which is located in the north of Mumbai city.
The aforementioned questions are standard questions that are going to be asked to all candidates, but your main speaking test has three parts: part one, part two, and part three. In part one, you're asked 4 to 5 questions on two different topics. You're expected to answer each of them in 3 to 4 sentences promptly. And then in Q card, you're given 1 minute to prepare and you're expected to speak for 2 minutes continuously. In part three, again, you're thrown 6 to 10 different questions and you're expected to answer them in 3 to 4 sentences, again, impromptu. Which is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant is Vishwa Mahal. I prefer it because the food is scrumptious as well as wholesome. Service is impeccable and prompt. The icing on the cake is that it's close to the railway station.
The question that would arise is, how do I answer each question in 3 to 4 sentences? The answer to this is, presume there is a why or why not after every question. Give reasons for your answer. Alternatively, you can give details of what you're talking about. Do you live in an apartment or a house?
Ours is an apartment. It is about 690 square feet. There is a living room, two bedrooms, along with a small kitchen. There are no balconies, but we don't miss it. Every room has a big window. Ours is on the 17th floor. Overall, there are 32 floors, with two additional floors for car parking.
Remember, no one sentence answers, no yes, no answers either, even if you're asked close ended questions. It's your time to shine, so you have to speak up. For some reason, if you're not able to understand what the examiner is asking you, you can always make her repeat. You could say something like, pardon, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you please repeat that? She will repeat it. It's fine. Okay. And don't worry about accuracy either. You just have to speak. So even if she doesn't agree with what you're saying, she's not going to rate you on the basis of that. She's going to rate you on the basis of your English fluency. Talking of fast food, have you tried different kinds of fast food of your country?
I've tried almost all kinds of Indian fast food, but if I have to handpick a few, I must mention our quintessential idlis and dosas. Being a Tamilian myself, we have this fermented batter in our house, which is made of soaked rice as well as dehusked split black gram. We ferment it with salt, and then with that batter, we can make crispy rice pancakes as well as rice puff cakes as and when required. Talking of Maharashtrian food, I must mention the Puran Poli, which is a pancake of refined flour, and in that there is a stuffing of boiled
Bengal gram.
along with jaggery. And the healthy dish is definitely the beaten rice, which is cooked with onion. But my favorite North Indian food has to be chole bhature. Chole is boiled chickpeas cooked in onion and tomato.
Gravy.
Bhature are deep fried, uneven bread, but it fluffs up like a ball.
Do you use a microwave to cook food quickly?
I definitely do not use the microwave to cook food. At best, I would use it to heat food. There are many reasons for this. Firstly, I'm told that they emit radioactive rays which trigger cancer in human beings. Secondly, most microwavable vessels are made of plastic, and we all know that hot food, when it comes in contact with plastic, turns toxic. The third reason is it's very cumbersome and time consuming to cook in a microwave. You first put oil in a vessel and keep it inside, or wait for the timer to end, then remove it, then put the mustard seeds, wait for it to splutter, then again remove it, put the onion and curry leaves. So it's not very convenient. If I have a wok and I keep it on a gas stove, it's quicker.
How popular is fast food in your city?
Fast food restaurants are extremely popular in our city. The main reason is most working professionals are out at least 10 to 12 hours a day. So there's at least one meal which they would eat outside, probably evening snacks or dinner. And as per the terminology, fast food, it's a food that is going to be prepared quickly. If you talk of my particular suburb around Mulund railway station, so within a 5 minute walking radius, you will see there are at least 50 restaurants. In fact, there is one particular lane which is called Cow Gully, and there are 10 hawkers there, all selling fast food on pull carts.
Right. Moving on to questions regarding summer. Do you go on holiday every summer?
I prefer not to go on holidays during the summer season. At best, I would go to a hill station like Lonavala or Mahabaleshwar. Personally speaking, Mumbai is a very good place to be in during the summer season as far as India is concerned. Because if you go to see other cities and towns are probably much hotter than what Mumbai is during summer. And we have these beaches, we have centers, hobby classes, fitness programs that we can enroll in rather than going to a place and getting baked over there.
What do you do when the weather is very hot in summer?
When the weather is very hot, I would prefer to be indoors. But if I have to be outdoors, I would slather loads of sunscreen of SPF 40 at least. Sunglasses are my favorite accessory at that time. I would carry a stole or a scarf to protect my hair. In addition, I would carry this triple fold umbrella, which would fit into my purse easily, so it's protective because sometimes no amount of sunscreen can prevent the tan. This is a time to be on slip-ons rather than sneakers and pumps, which I'm otherwise in. I keep myself hydrated, and wherever I find a sugarcane juice stall or a juice stall, I would sit to have something to sip in.
Did you used to enjoy summer holidays when you were a child?
Frankly speaking, I did not used to enjoy our summer holidays as children. During our Easter holidays, our father would take us to his native village, which was in Tanjavur district of Tamil Nadu. The village was called Koiladi. The transportation there at that time was pathetic. My father could not afford cabs. My paternal uncles weren't well to do either. They lived hand to mouth. So when we used to go to their house, it was tough for them. There was no power. Power would barely be there for 4 to 5 hours a day. Potable water was a luxury. Their water was salty in general. I felt that we're just adding to their financial burden. We are not contributing in any way. Of course, whatever gifts we would take for them, they enjoyed. But I felt that for them, delicacies were a luxury. We were not used to having such a basic food like, say, curd rice with pickles. So I sadly did not enjoy it.
That is the end of part one questions. Now, in part two, I'm going to give you a cue card. You have 1 minute to prepare.
You can jot down
Any points if you wish to. And when I say start, you start, but till I don't say stop, you cannot stop. Be sure that you're loud and clear. Okay, your time starts now.
Thank you.
Okay, can you start?
The app that I first installed and then uninstalled was something called Music Editor. It so happened that I had been on this trip in October 2021 to Rishikesh, Kedarnath, Tungnath, as well as Haridwar. It was a divine, exhilarating experience. Also, I had been contemplating making tutorial videos for quite some time. I decided to take the plunge, and I thought, what better way to start than to make a video, because that would have been relatively easier. Just collate the photos and videos and put a nice song to it. And then if I get the hang of it, I can always venture into a full-time tutorial making. That was the whole purpose. But what happened was I selected a song which encouraged people to be selfish, which encouraged people to think of themselves, go meet new people, explore the world. And I wanted to just take 30 seconds of peppiest part of that song. And when I had to cut the song, I explored some options on Google Play. I downloaded from Google Play Store ultimately, and it had a decent rating of 4.3. They had this free version, and later on I could upgrade it to the paid. So when I was into the free version, it wasn't very difficult at all, but I had no hang of using that app. So I was taking a lot of time. After 3 days, the trial period was over and I had to pay. So I thought, okay, let me pay. Probably it would make things easier for me. But the moment I had paid for it, it was a disaster. In fact, it was an exasperating, infuriating experience. It used to take me to the most obnoxious sites, porn sites to be specific. The worst part is I was not even able to come out of the app. I had to switch off my phone in order to keep my phone active and come out of the app. There were lots of advertisements as well. So I thought if I am paying, there shouldn't be so many advertisements. So I think in hindsight, it was a badly written application. The whole purpose was to freeze money. They were not interested in retaining the customers. I think this is quite saddening that probably just by the free version, people give reviews. Google Play Store, there was no contact person. On emails, I would not even get response. I put in a review, but it hardly made a difference to anyone. Ultimately, I came to Filmora Go. I'm still using Filmora. It's a very good application. There's a similar app that I'm now using, Super Recorder. I feel the decision was good, but I should have gone through every review carefully. That was what perhaps I didn't do. If I had, I wouldn't have wasted much of my productive time. Stop.
Cue card section carries maximum weightage when it comes to speaking, so do well in this. Showcase the best vocabulary possible. This can boost your score to 8 and 8.5 too. Do not go blank at all. Don't worry too much about R's and Ums because you're not allowed to memorize. And even if you memorize, the examiners are trained to catch you. So don't do that. Just go on speaking for 2 minutes, even if you have to digress. What kinds of computer games do people play in your country?
Computer games are popular among college and school goers. The most common ones that are played are those of action, adventure, first shooter, simulation, puzzle. I think it gives them this boisterous thrill of beating another player from other part of the world. Even if parents cannot afford such high-tech computers at their homes, they give the children the freedom to go and play in a play zone where probably at a nominal fee of 50 rupees per hour, students get that thrill and you can actually feel that they are screaming at each other because they just missed it by a second or by a point.
How can technology be useful in a classroom?
Technology is indeed a boon when applied in classrooms. Firstly, the teacher can maintain a plethora of records of all the students in an Excel sheet. When a continuous assessment is done for the students, she can update the records and see how the graph of the child is and accordingly update his parents. Secondly, she can show videos and pictures. This expedites learning among children. We all know a picture speaks 1,000 words. So instead of saying it again and again and drumming into the heads of the children, she just shows a picture and her work is easier. In fact, even if she just shows some letters or words, children remember those. Anything which is visual, it just remains etched in the children's head.
Why do you think people love playing computer games so much?
The main reason why people enjoy playing computer games so much is that it's highly addictive. You develop that competitive killer instinct. There are different levels. So once you cross a certain level, you go to the next level, next level. So you feel that you have achieved something. It gives you that thrill of achievement. Physical indoor game like Ludo, chess, carom, you require another person, and many times children don't get that company. You may be playing with another virtual player who is sitting in another end of the world. He may be acquainted with you, or he may not be acquainted with you. And even for the parents, it's good that your child is addicted to the computer. At least he's not creating nuisances, comparatively quieter.
Do you agree that sometimes students are better at using technology than their teachers?
Certainly, children are technologically better than their teachers. There are two main factors. Students nowadays are exposed to a lot of mobile phones and computers at a very early age. They know to write programs, code, they can make applications, and they have a hang of majority of the software whichever is available on their computers. They're trying to outdo their peers, do better than their cousins. But for a teacher, her students are academically lower than her, so she has to stoop to their level to explain the concepts. Only then will they understand. In the bargain, she has no motivation to learn something more or be more qualified unless she's looking to teach adults and probably professionals.
Do you think that modern technology has a negative influence on communication?
Personally speaking, I don't think modern technology has hampered communication. Emails and WhatsApp are accepted as a documented proof. So you're very cautious when you're typing or texting sentences because you know they can be used against you. Even verbally, I have seen all those people who have been shy before, they are now able to speak some sentences on camera. And when you're able to do it on camera, you're able to do it in front of a person.
Now, the six parameters based on which you're going to be assessed: ability to think in English, fluency, pronunciation, mind you, not the accent, the pronunciation, clarity of speech, use of phrasal verbs in collocation, as well as range of vocabulary. A common misnomer is that if you're fluent in English, you're going to get good scores in IELTS speaking. That needn't be the case because IELTS speaking also tests your general knowledge and current affairs. For instance, if you are given a topic on a historical event, you have to speak on only one historical event. We all know that India is a historical country and there have been many events. But I would handpick Jallianwala Bagh. So I should have prepared beforehand. I would collate dates like 13th April 1919, General O'Dwyer, 22,000 people. It was the occasion of Baisakhi. Wells. Later on, General O'Dwyer was shot by Udham Singh in retaliation. I would look at the facts around it, and you have to have some background knowledge. Of course, you would have read it in history textbooks, but you wouldn't remember. That's why, whatever question bank you have, take every topic, probably three, four on a single day. Go to Wikipedia, it's a good source of reliable information. Collate the words and use superlative words and try to speak to yourself for 2 minutes. This will make a remarkable difference, and you can see that within a month or so, your speaking turns out much better. And even in future, you throw any topic at yourselves, you'll be able to speak on it.